Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's day is starting off well. Glad to have you with me this morning. All righty. Today, we're going to be covering how I hit the numbers straight. How I work on hitting the numbers straight, how I use the PICK-3 at a glance strategy to hit the numbers straight. And I always start off with the old PPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget, and play responsibly. That's the key to make you a bigger and better winner and help you to get into the winner's circle. Also, I have these 1,000 numbers here on PICK-3 at a glance. The basic principle with me is that the numbers are random. There's no tic-tac-toe, no date sums, no method out there that's going to tell you what number is coming the next day. Okay? To get an edge. That's why I base the PICK-3 at a glance off of everyone being able to track their actual 1,000 numbers in their own state separately and building a strategy and a skill set to winning. Okay, and that's basically what we have. We have to track our own numbers and have a system of tracking our own numbers for our own state to be a bigger and better winner. Another thing I want to make sure everybody understand that the lottery could possibly be rigged. If it ain't rigged now, I know that it was rigged by Eddie Tipton in 2000. He rigged it for 15 years and it was over 5 states and nobody was the wiser until he messed up. So who's to say that that same thing wouldn't be going on today? And what they did, they incarcerated him. They gave him a deal where if he told them how he did it, then they would give him a lesser charge. So, yeah, the lottery can be rigged. The lottery can fix it, whereas in less chances of our winning the PICK-3. So I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. And Eddie Tipton, after I found out about him, I did an intense study of him and how he did it. And that's why I knew that the only thing that was available for us to really win was you had to include all 1,000 numbers, and that the tic-tac-toe, the date sums, the grid, the flip sum, root sums, and all those multiple different methods out there, and the tic-tac-toes was not really the way to go. That you had to track your own numbers for your own state, be patient, and let the numbers tell you what they're doing. And it's easy to do that once you start tracking the numbers, because all the numbers are different in all the states. Okay? Now, so what I'm going to show you here pretty much how I go about tracking the numbers and looking for them to be exact. I took 22 numbers, did one rundown on 22 numbers. That was my starter. To get 22 columns, to get all 1,000 numbers, I condensed all these 1,000 numbers into 22 columns. And that way all you had to do was track the 22 columns to know what was going on with the 1,000 numbers at any time. No guesswork, no guessing what's going on with the numbers in your state if you're using the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. You have foresight and not hindsight. Many of the other methods are hindsight methods of trying to find a winning number that might come the next day, and they'll tell you pay it for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, or whatever. I tell you play them till they come to make that money, y'all, because I know that it takes a while to win these numbers. You have to be persistent, play on a consistent basis. You can't be hopping on and off the numbers. Hey, Teresa, how you doing?
Your brother's on the phone. Your brother's calling you. Your brother's on the phone waiting.
A consistent basis. Thought I had that off on silent. But I think If he calls back, then I'm gonna have to take a break here a minute and answer because that's my brother. And if he called back twice, something might be wrong. But good morning, Teresa. But I called him earlier just to see how he was doing. Okay. Now, so these are the thousand numbers. Like I said, we have to track them for our own selves in our own states. Okay. And like I said, this basically going to be based on how I strategize to hit the numbers exact with the 22 numbers and the 22 columns. Now, and like I was mentioning, Eddie Tipton, you can look him up on YouTube. And they didn't want a lot to get out about him because you'll see there's very little information on what he did. So, but I had to find a lot of places. Everything they wrote about Eddie Tipton, I checked into and looked into. Even the lottery ticket he won in Illinois, not Illinois, but Iowa, for $16 million. But that's how they caught him. If he hadn't cashed that ticket in himself, he would have got away with the $16 million. And there's no telling how much money he got away with before then, because he had a whole syndicate of people that he had set up and would give them numbers in all 5 states to play to win. His brother won something like $1 million, and then other people were winning. So it was a big story, but they didn't show it as a big story. That's the Matrix. So, but I did study everything I could find on it. Now, so with these 22 columns, I condensed all this where you can easily look at what's going on with these thousand numbers and know what's going on with them at one time. Okay, at one glance. Here we had the 866 to come in Illinois evening draw. All right. They still playing them eights. They don't want to play them triple eights look like, but hey, I'm gonna play them to the end of the month for Illinois evening, and then I'm gonna fall off of them because I already know that I'm going against the law average with those eights, and probably 2 months is about the most I will carry, something like that, because I know it already takes a long time for doubles to hit anyway, and like I said, they already played 4 triples already, the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 9s. So that's my average there, more than the average, because the average is only 3 triples out of a year. So I'll go back to my regular strategy of not playing any triples until the end of the year, because the eights is the only one that I had to know why I was playing it, and the other ones right now I don't see why I would be playing any other triple, even though it might come. Like I say, there's no rhyme or reason to what the numbers might do, but you're not just playing any numbers. You should have a reason why you plan your numbers and stay focused. So here, I'm going to do the 1-1 rundown on the 866 that came in. You add 1 to the 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, you get 0. 1 to 0, you get 1. 1 to 1, you get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. 1 to 3, you get 4. 1 to 4, you get 5. 1 to 5, you get 6. 1 to 6, you get 7. And 1 to 7, I'm drawing line here, you're going to get the 8. Same thing here. You're going to add 1 to the 6, you get 7. 1 to 7, you get 8. 1 to 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, you're going to get 10 again, which you just used the 0. 1 to 0, you get 1, and you're just going to count straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same number at the bottom you get at the top. Same number at the bottom you get at the top, you add it correctly. Same thing, you're just going to do the same, adding 1, and you're just going to count straight down. 8, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? And the 22 numbers, whenever you have a winning number come in here, the 22 numbers that makes up the 22 columns, this is the winning number for the day. The base number will always be in that rundown. Let me show you the base numbers. These are the base numbers, the 22 numbers that makes up the 22 columns. So since that was a double, it would be under the doubles. So you're looking for these numbers here. They got a 0 in it. So basically all you're looking for is the numbers with the 0 in it on here to see which one of these base numbers would be under there. All right. So you can see that is a 0 here. It's not the 088. It's not the base number, but it's the 200 right here. But it shows as 002 because they're in numerical order. All these numbers are in numerical order. But see, when a number come in, it's not necessarily that it will be in numerical order, but it's the same number. The 200 is the same number, just a different way it came. Because this 200 can really come as 002, 020, or I hope y'all can see that, or 200. So that's the column you're going to be looking for, is 002. On the doubles. And here's the sheets that makes up the 22 numbers with the 22 columns. Can y'all see this? Yep. Okay. And they are here. And the same numbers I just showed you with the singles on top. These are called the base numbers. That's where your column, that's where your numbers will be in one of these columns for the singles, and here it is for the doubles. Here it'd be for the doubles. Right here, the same numbers. Can you see? Let me make sure I move it a little bit over. YouTube went and changed how they, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, maybe, no. You're not going, let me see if I can do it this way. If they'll let me open it up now. Nope, not going to do it. They changed it where when they turned the number, the picture horizontal, before I could make a big screen of it. What everybody's looking at now, I got a little screen. But like I said, time change, people change. You just go with the flow. So now we're going to look in the doubles, and we're going to look for the 002, and we're going to find the 866. But it's going to show as 668. It's just the way the number fell as 866. Same number. You just go in a circle, bam, you're done. Okay. Now, one thing that I say about this sheet here, the way I have these numbers here, most of the time, when you're playing the number off this sheet, play it exactly as it is on the sheet. And if you see another reason to play it another way, play it that way also. But most of the numbers, when they drop like they are on these columns. Exactly like they are on the column. So your first shot away of playing any number that you're going to play, and why you want to play it like it is on the sheet first. Same with the doubles and the singles. Play it like it is on the sheet. That's what I've experienced out of 30 years tracking the numbers and using this sheet is that most of the times the numbers drop exactly like they are on the sheet. So that's one of the things of how I hit straight. Another thing is on how I hit straight is when you plan any number, pick three number, you should always know when the last time the front pair of this number been in, the 8-6 would be the front. Let me see. Can you see that? 8-6 would be the, oops, I wrote 8-8, didn't I? 8-6 would be the front, and 6-6 would be the back. That's what you need to know. And also, you need to know the last time the 8-6 pair fell and the 6-6 pair fell. Okay? And that's where strategy 2 comes into play. After you do the strategy 1, okay, and know on the double, let me go back to strategy 1. You know the double then came in 002 here, the 668. You know that came in, but if you was playing that, the reason, but you can track them all, but you can't play them all. That's why I say don't be jumping on and off these numbers trying to hit. See right here? This is strategy number 2. Strategy number 2 here, where all the single pairs are in this triangle. 2,710 of them is in this triangle for you to track. Now you kind of have to understand the triangle. And here it is. See, you got 2 separate numbers, so you're going to have two different numbers, so you can have 2 different pairs to mark off. Okay? So you're going to have the 68 to mark off. You can see that's the first time that it came in for the month, but it didn't come in last month because there's not a line underneath it. This 1-1 was an error. It did come in, so I normally make a note. Right note is an error. So, but the 1-1 did come in last month, but I underlined it by mistake. I gotta get me some white out, I guess. But the 6-6 didn't come out last month. This is where the law of average catches up with itself. See what I'm saying? This is where the law of average catches up with itself. So you would mark that off now, because it didn't fall. The 6-6 didn't fall last month, so it just caught up this month. So the only double that's left is the 5-5. So if for some reason I wanted to play 5-5 or fives, double fives, I would be playing those doubles. I wouldn't be trying to play every number with a double in it. Or I would have played the 5-5 straight down. I would wheel the 5-5. And I would go back and see the last time the 5-5 fell on the front or the back to know how to play it. Or the last time the 5-5 pair fell, period. Because see, I do this triangle every month. So if I'm doing it every month, say I'm doing it in January, and this 5-5 we're looking at right now, don't fall for this month. That'd be 2 months. That'd be 60 days out. And then in February, I got my eye on it because now it's going into over 60 days, into 90 days. If you don't hit in February, I'm definitely going to see if I can use this 5-5 double to win with. And I would go back to my paperwork to see the last time the 5-5 double failed. Probably more likely it's going to be 3 months ago. 3 months. And what would enhance it also, if this 0 0 don't hit this month at all, and this 5 5 still hadn't hit, now I know there's a good chance that one of these two gonna come in. More likely I'll be on the 5 5 though. That's what would happen there. Because you always want to. The only way you gonna know what's happening on the front and back pair of these numbers is tracking them. But we get in that a little bit more in detail. So we know that that 6 6 didn't hit now because it didn't hit last month. That's what I mean by the law of average catching up with itself. So you got to be aware of that and what these numbers are doing. Now, two, what helps you to hit straight is knowing what position to put the numbers in. Okay. Now, that 866 just came in. And if the longer, see, time is on your side when you're tracking. Nothing is on your side if you don't know why you're playing the number. None of the tic-tac-toes, the date sums, the grids, the flips, the mirror, whatever method you use. If you don't know what's going on with all this here, you're playing a loser's game. You're looking at the trees instead of at the forest. You got to look at the forest. Other than that, you're playing in the dark. Now, same here. You got to know what position the numbers are falling in. You got to know what position your numbers are falling in your state. All the numbers in everybody's state are different. Everybody's building a different house with different material. So you got to know how to best use that material to build your house. You can't say what's going on in Illinois is going to happen. It's going to work in your state. You don't want to say numbers are traveling because they don't. They're random. The numbers don't travel. Your state numbers just doing what they do. They might be doing a little bit of what somebody else's states are doing, but it's not going to be that big of a difference. Certain numbers don't bring certain numbers. Day numbers and midday numbers are totally different. Like I said, we're making this harder than it needs to be. All we have to do is really track the actual 1,000 numbers to see what they're doing. So when we invest in a number, we know why we invested in that number. Okay, so this here, they say overdue numbers or overdue pairs. They call them overdue, but they only usually would have one single number that would be overdue. And say, well, play that number. But my problem was with playing that number, how would I play it and what's the best way to play it and when to play it? So what I did, I did 0 to 9, 3 separate columns like that, okay? And so I could track what positions the numbers fell in. Like the 866, I'd mark off the 8 on the front, knowing it came in this month already. The 6 in the middle, and the 6 on end. Now see, when I get through doing this at the end of the month, I'm going to know exactly what positions numbers hit in and didn't hit in. There won't be no guessing, won't be no tic-tac-toe, no date sum, no grid, no flip, or none of that to make me know that. I know it for a fact. So when I invest my money in a number, I know why I'm investing my money. So now, whatever number is left in whatever position, if I'm playing a number like this 866, and say the 866 is one of my numbers that I'm carrying, that I'm playing, and I realize that, I'm going to put it up here, the 866 right here, and I realize, I hope y'all can see that 866. Okay, and I realize that this 6 didn't hit at all for the month, and I'm still playing the 866 because I carry my numbers for a month. Some of them I carry because they might daily carry numbers. Once I build my bucket list, I have daily carry numbers that I carry for a month, 2 months, because I know working with the law of average is going to hit, and I'll be ready for it. And then when I hit, I know where to reinvest my money into what numbers. I don't jump on and off my numbers. So if that six ain't hit on the front, the six ain't hit on the front right here, then I'm gonna play this 8-6-6 at 6-8-6 and 6-6-8. So it lets me know to alter the number that I'm playing so I can hit it straight. Because working with the law average, 9 out of 10, when it do hit, it's gonna hit this way, and I got it covered. You can say you can combo it, and if you combo it, it's like $1.50, and you only get half the prize. But if you hit it straight here like this, uh, you still would get the. I play this straight box. I play this 50 straight. That's $2. I play this 50 cents straight, and I play this one 50 cents straight. That way, I still got all the bases covered, but I get a little more. I still get a little more because I didn't play them basically straight box. But 9 out of 10, I'm gonna put. I might when I play a little bit more. I might put a little bit more on these because I know that this six didn't fall on the front, even though I'm playing it this way. I might put a little bit more money on these two here to make sure that six is on the front. But that's how you build your strategies and your skill sets, because while you're looking at the actual numbers and seeing what they're doing, you'll know the best way to play it when you get ready to play it. Now here, this strategy number 3. So if you leave a comment or anything, these here with the 22 numbers with the doubles and the singles is strategy number 1. The triangle tell me strategy number 2. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay? This here number placement is strategy number 3. And another thing too, how I hit exact or knew to hit exact or what numbers play and was using that to my advantage. This 7 column didn't hit for 2 months in one state, in Missouri. So, like I say, I have to see a significance of why I would play triples. And this is probably one of them where sevens didn't hit with no number for 2 months. I say, okay, triple sevens and everything with a 7 I played that I could play other than pick 4, pick 5. But yeah, and the sevens came in. And they kept coming in because they was way behind on the law average. Because I say these numbers and all these positions are consistently playing catch up. And that's why they saying, well, go back and see what pattern. You don't know what the pattern going to be if you don't even know what the numbers are and what they're doing. Because you don't know if the pattern going to change up. But the numbers can never change up as you watching them and seeing what they're doing. Okay, did I do this here too? No, I didn't mark off the 6-6 here because I did it on another sheet. That's what messes me up. I got to make sure I do it on both sheets. And the 6-8. I did it on the larger sheet. But yeah, see there? Now at a glance, when I want to refer back to something, I know what I'm referring back to. If I notice something is off or something is wrong, I know why it's off and why it's wrong. Working with the law average to get my edge. See, all this is just to try to give you an edge in winning. You know? Like the other methods. But to me, the most sound method is to track the actual 1,000 numbers and not be guessing it while you're playing, because everything else to me is guesswork on the method. That was for me, but I changed that. I changed that because I started tracking everything. Now, the other thing is the front and back part, front back number of the 866. And this here, all of it is very sound and very powerful when you start tracking it and putting it together. Now, this first of the year here, now this is not, a lot of numbers. So you're going to do the 8-6 on the front, for, and we'll see that that's the first time it came in. Eight six on the front. And the 6-6 that came in on the back. You mark it off. Now you know what's going on with your front and back part. And how I hit straight using this is I made up any numbers as you go. You're probably going to be possibly, well, I know in Illinois, every strategy that I had, every method that was applicable, it did it in Illinois. It was good, believe me. What happened? Every number in its opposite, or a number that I could made up that I knew would made up, played in Illinois. And they normally, my best months are November and December. And now we're into January, and that's my other month. But everything that I had set up for Illinois to hit in November and December came in, a good 90% of it. So I know now, since the law average is almost played out for 2024 the way it does, sometimes it leaves a lot more that I can carry over into 25, but it's slim pickings now. So now I'm almost going to not really look to invest. I'm probably going to be building my bank up pretty much to invest until almost 3 months into the year, because that's when I can start seeing how the numbers are rotating and how they are averaging out with the law average. Not saying I won't be hitting, just saying that 3 months out is when those numbers gonna line up, pretty much. And that's why I say you know be OPPP, organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget, play responsibly. And I'll be playing pretty much my minimum, which is around $3 a day to $5 a day, because I usually when I hit, I use that money to reinvest in my bucket list of numbers that I have narrowed down to be the next winning numbers that come in. But it makes more sense as you actually physically tracking the actual 1,000 numbers yourself. Okay. Now, hey Deborah, good to have you with us. Now, so that's how I always made up front pairs and back pairs every chance I get that haven't hit. And I also look to see when I'm doing my sheet if the number hasn't hit for the whole year either. Because if I made up like this 4-2, see that it ain't hit into the year, and then say I go to the 2 column, find out the 21 ain't played. That's my number. And if I find out that the 1, 2, 4 as a whole number ain't played, let me see. Let's see here. I got a sheet of paper here. Yeah. Put this here. If I see that 4-2 ain't played and the 21 ain't played on the back end, then my number, I'm gonna play it exactly like that. That's how I'm gonna hit exact. And then I'm gonna play the numbers 4, 2, 1, just exactly like that. And then if I find out that the opposite number of it ain't played is 9, 7, 6 ain't played either, I'm definitely gonna play both of those numbers, and I'm really gonna put reinvest pretty heavily on this number because I already know what the front and back of it is. And possibly I would also look and see if the 976, well, I know it played, and see what position this 9 and 7 might be in. If I can do the same thing with it, to pinpoint how to play it along with it. I won't just play it to match up like this, because if I find out that the, let's see how to say it. And I find out, let's say I find out the 7-6 didn't fall on the front. And the 6-9 didn't fall on the back. Then the number I'm gonna play, this one is 7-6-9. Same number, but it's the opposite. Oh, that don't confuse you. But you'll build your strategy. You'll build it, believe me. It won't take long. I know how to play it exactly hit. Because I'm gonna play it this way to hit, and this one this way to hit. Because I know neither of the numbers came in. And what I mean by opposites again, I'm going to go through that. Opposite numbers, like I do on every live. So that's why it's important that when you're tracking, you know exactly what the numbers and their opposites are doing. See, a lot of people have a strategy, well, if you play 1, 2, 3, make sure you play 6, 7, 8, 2, that's burning up your money. Now, 1, 2, 3, and 6, 7, 8 are exactly opposites of each other, but the 6, 7, 8 already might have been played through the law average already. The only way I play like that, if I get toward the end of the year, that number and its opposite hasn't played, and that's what I'd be looking for. So here, let me show you the opposites. Right here, they call them mirrors, okay? I used to call them mirrors, but everybody calls mirrors flips and flips are mirrors. And some people don't believe in flips and mirrors, and that's why we're making it so hard. Just call it the opposite number and call it the day. Okay? So here, I'm going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And to get the bottom number here, I'm going to add +5. That's when you know, whenever they say mirror, if they add +5 to the single number, I have no idea what they're talking about. Normally it's going to be flips, but I don't mess with flips because it's too complicated. And to me, it don't make sense. And I can't explain it, and I don't see where it's beneficial anyway. But this here is very beneficial. +5 to the 0 is 5. The 1 is 6. 2 is 7. 3 is 8. 4 is 9. So right here you got the triples. If you detect those 1,000 numbers, divide them in half, you're going to have triple zeros here and 499 here. Make sense? And then you're going to have the 500 here, the numbers from 500 over here to 999. Makes sense. Now, the reason being, 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. Dividing those 1,000 directly in half. 499, 500. Bam. Now, say you play 0, 0, 1, 2. The lottery plays 5, 6, 7. They played the exact opposite number of those 1,000 numbers that you played. Reason being, 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2. Same exact opposite number. That happens. And you need to be aware of that, and you need to know that. Same way here. We get in the winner circles. Say you play 7, 8, 9. Nah. I hope it ain't running in. It is running empty. I'm going to bring it down here, over here. 7. What am I? 7, 8, 9. And the lottery played 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Same exact number, opposites. The 789, 234. 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. Now, say you played 112 again, 112, and the lottery played 667. And there you go. Opposite numbers. 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2. Okay? And they always the same. They not different. One number don't mean nothing different on the other end. This is consistent. And if you play triple zeros and the lottery played triple fives, working with the law average, that's a 50-50. Everything's divided in half, 50-50. 50-50. 50% up here are the numbers, and 50% of the numbers down here. See? That gives you a 50-50 chance when you're playing. That's why I look at when I can play the number and its opposite, and knowing that neither one has came in, because it gives me a 50-50 chance to winning one or the other number. I don't just play the number and its opposite just to be playing the number and its opposite like some people do. I'll wait to see through the year what numbers and their opposites are still left to play. I don't play all the other numbers when I know that I got a better chance of hitting one of these two. I got a better chance if I know neither one of these fail during the year. Or if neither one of these failed during the year. Or neither one of these failed during the year. So, and that's why off the columns, that's why I love the columns and the strategy that I set up, because it gives you exactly that. These numbers, when you do the 1-1 rundown, and that's the only one on it that you can do it on, well, they got other ones, but they don't have all the different numbers. They be opposite each other, but they're not organized. And you can't use it on my PICK-3 glance strategy to find the numbers. They got 317, 369, triple nines. They can make this number anything they want to make it out of the 1,000 numbers and do a rundown on them as a method to trying to figure out what numbers are coming the next day. There's no such method that's going to tell you anything like that. It's all random and nothing's going to change it. So here, this 866, the opposite, what is it? 311. At a glance, you can see that, see? The 977, the opposite is 422. At a glance, you can see that, right? The 088, the opposite is 533. The 199, 644. The 200, 755. See? You can't go wrong as long as you know what number the opposites are playing at all times, or have not played and playing, and what they're doing. So say this column here, and they could take this column, it's a double. If you had, well, on my sheet, or on the sheet. So you can imagine, like I said, this is the 200, so this would really be this actual column is where we played. And you and say 4 months from now, nothing come off this column again. Okay? Other than the 688. And it can happen because it's a double. It can take 5 months for any, because it happened last year with the 616 in Illinois here. And you realize, okay, 5 months out, I had my eye on this column, and pretty much, well, I would play the whole column. But let's say 5 months from now, I'm gonna do it a little different here. Let's say 5 months from now, you realize, and say this month, the 866 come, and the 199 come. Okay, the 866 and the 199 come. And the 533 came. Then it don't hit again for another 4 months, 3 months. What you're doing here, if it don't hit again, you looking for the numbers and it's opposite that didn't play. If you don't, I play the whole column like 50 box, but I'm looking for the numbers and the opposite that didn't play. Like let's say that I'm going to play working with the law average. I'd be looking for the 977, and I'm pretty sure the 422. And see, them would be my two numbers to play off that column to make the money to invest in, because I know law average, one of those two more likely will come in working with the law average. See what I'm saying? You already know, the 866 came in, and the opposite of it is the 311. So I don't look at those too much. I look at the number and its opposite that did not come in at all. Or and say the 200 didn't come in at all, and 755 didn't come in at all. So 3 months in, if I see that those four and they opposite each other didn't come in, then those would be the four I would invest my money in, because I got a 50-50 chance, just like I had here, 50-50 of those numbers coming in. But even though the numbers run random, working with the law average, you still got a chance of 50-50 that the law average, you'll see that the numbers will always be catching up with themselves that hadn't failed. So one of the opposite will come in 9 out of 10. All right, any questions on that? And I'll also be looking to see what positions the numbers and fell in, what's the front and the back position, like that. That's how you strategize and build a skill set on winning. All right. And hitting exact. You're gonna always have to hit exact. And I think with these wild balls and fireballs, they made it somewhat harder to hit exact. But you can still, they more or less looking and making their money off of making you spend more money by having to win more money. You have to play everything combination or box, as they say. That's what's happening with that wild ball, because the wild ball and the fireballs pay less money, even if that ball goes right in the exact position. That don't make sense. It should pay the same jackpot amount, and you spending an extra dollar. That's why I don't mess with the fireballs and wild balls. I'd rather put that extra money on putting on a number I'm thinking coming straight than put that dollar on depending on the ball they gonna pick falling in what place. And I don't know what that random ball could be. I'd rather just put that dollar on another my numbers exact and shoot for going exact, rather than a wild ball and hoping that the wild ball match up with what I played. Ain't no way to guess what that wild ball gonna be. Ain't no way to track them. That's why I don't really mess with them. I'd rather, if I know 1, 2, 3 is coming in, I'd rather put my dollar on that than on a wild ball over here, thinking that, or play extra, or flip my not flip, mirror, or change it. I ain't gonna say flip. Or change it to 213. Put a dollar on that straight. That makes sense to me. I just don't do, I don't know who wins on the wild ball, but I know some people do, but it don't pay the jackpot amount. To me, I'd be more indulged in it if it paid the jackpot amount, but it don't for a whole dollar. And then I don't know what that wild ball gonna be. All right, family. Anything else? All righty, well, I think that pretty much covers it. If anybody has anything to say on it, I hope everybody got what I was saying here. But yeah, that's the key. Tracking your front page. Let me see here another thing I need to always tell everybody. Like I said, you can do the same thing here. You always want to compare numbers with the opposite. Like this 3-3, double threes on the here on the front. Ain't played, and 8-8s ain't played. Then would be your triples to look at because they opposite numbers of each other. Or 3-3 here on the back, or 8-8 on the back ain't played. You want to always realize where your opposites are at, where your opposites are, what's going on with them. 0-0 or 5-5, and how to and use them. Keep track of your opposites. Keep tracks of your opposites on all the columns. Keep an eye on your opposites as you're tracking through the year. See what's going on with them. See what opposite ain't fell off your columns as you're tracking them. You're doing a sheet month to month, tracking your opposites. See what ain't played. So when you see a column that ain't hit in 3 months at all, or when it gets to that point, you're looking for the opposites that ain't played. You don't want to just play opposite numbers to play them and hoping they come in. Same here. Opposites. Like this 0-0, opposite is 5-5. That's why I say I got my eye on, see what's going on with this 5-5 and then 0-0. This double five, just like this double. See what I mean? Law average plays catch up. When you start underlining your numbers in your state, you'll see how the law average is playing catch up with all the pairs that haven't failed or have failed, or all the single numbers that have failed and haven't failed, because you'll start be marking them off, the actual numbers and your columns, what actual numbers and they opposite ain't failed. I don't just play the opposite to play it. I play it if I know this column ain't played in 3 months and I know what numbers are off of it. I look to see what number and its opposite ain't hit. And all your opposites, this triangle has all its opposites. Like I said again, this 0-1 and this 5-6. I realized that this 0-1 and 5-6 hadn't failed. My number to play was 5-5-6 and hit it. But I knew why I was playing the 5-5-6. See what I'm saying? This is how you build a strategy and a skill set. This is how you study. This is real studying. When you go back and see what patterns then failed and see 3 days and see if you can find the pattern that match what's already failed, that's no study. You can't study that. You can study this. You can study when 0-0 and 5-5 ain't failed together in 4 months. Or 2-2 and 7-7 ain't failed together in 4 months. Or any opposite, say this 24 and opposite is 79. Say this 24 and 79 ain't failed together in 3 months. That's studying. Everything else is out the sight. You're looking for foresight. Or this 6-7 and what would be its opposite, the 12. If you see they ain't fell together in 2 months, you can make a decision on how to play those numbers and invest your money in them. Any of them. See, you're looking for the opposites all the time. Your mind should be focused on opposites too that ain't played. There's 1-4 and there's 6-9. There's 14. There's 69. If they don't fall together for a whole month or two, you'll start seeing the pattern, like seeing how they're working, how the numbers are averaging with the law average. Let's say that. How the numbers are averaging with the law average to get you in the winner circle. Look at the pairs. Pairs are powerful. They are. All of them powerful when you start putting together for your state and how your numbers are running. But OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with budget. Don't rush it. These numbers ain't going nowhere. You got time. And if you're in a hole, stop digging and study. Study more than you play. And if you are starting off playing, get this system down. And then too, if you don't have to wait to learn the sheet, but you still gonna have to go back a year. If you're starting here in January, you gotta go back for a whole year, and then you won't have to do strategy 3, 2, and 3. You're gonna have to go back strategy number 1 with the 22 numbers. Go back and eliminate not midday and evening. If you're going to do midday, do a midday sheet. If you're going to do evening, do an evening sheet. And eliminate all these numbers so you'll know what numbers are left off these columns to play. Transfer the numbers that's left off those columns over into January of 2025. That's your start. That's what I went back 2 years and eliminated all the numbers. But I realized that I didn't have to go back that far the next year. And keep a steady record of what numbers have failed and not fallen. And then you're off to the races. The heavy lifting is just the tracking back. That's the heavy lifting. After that, you're good to go. Then you'll be in there like that there. That's the way I did that. And then this triangle came later. But you won't have to do that starting off the year. But you will need to start tracking it for this year, January. And this one here, and the front pair and back pair. Now when I start, like if I go to another city, I would do this, eliminate all the numbers here, and I would eliminate the front pair and back pair sheet here. Simple reason, the front pair and back pair to do it ain't take you maybe an hour, if that, for any state. Because all you're going to do if the number is 1, 2, 3, you're just going to do the 1, 2 on the front and the 2, 3 on the back, and the next number and the next number. You do that in about an hour to get this sheet set up to know what front pairs and back pairs are left for you to play for 2025. This sheet is simple. Strategy number 4. Step number 4. Strategy number 4. But yeah, this sheet is it's a solid sheet, and it's simple. Because if you just go back right now and realize that 4, 2 something and the back pair ain't fail, but like again, I'd look to see if the opposite of it fell or didn't fall. You're on the road right there to getting a winning number, and not guessing why you would be playing it. You'd know why you would be playing it. Working with the law averaging, with the numbers averaging out. Okay. Yep, you know. No guesswork. Don't guess. Yeah, no need to guess. Not with this. Everything else, to me, is guessing. Hindsight. This is on foresight when I see out there, because everybody's making this harder than it needs to be. To me, that's my theory. I'm so low on this. The tic-tac-toe, the day sums, putting up numbers to play on certain days, and if it's a play on full moons, and if 1, 2, 3 come, it's gonna bring 7, 5, 9, or all that is not happening. Oh, that ain't telling you nothing if you ain't track the numbers and see why you playing them and knowing why you investing in them. That's all. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. I'm solo on this because it sells a lot of books, y'all. Whole line, whole 31 days. Play this number, play that number, play this number, play that number, play that number, play that number, play that number. You're gonna hit sometime, but if you don't know why you hit, you're gonna wind up burning up your money anyway, and you don't know why you lost. Everything you do here, you're gonna know why you won and why you lost. Because it ain't gonna line up with the law. Will line up with the law average, but it just the numbers are random. It just hadn't hit yet. But you're gonna find out more than likely that when you're doing this, you're gonna hit. You know why you hit. Because you're gonna know, okay, I did such and such. Okay, I know. Yeah, that's how that came in. It came in exactly like I knew it. I knew why I was playing it. I knew that column, everything. You're gonna know everything. I knew that this column been hit for 3 months, so I picked it up, and these 10 numbers, and I knew that this pair, this number, and this opposite hadn't played, or 4 of them hadn't played that were opposite each other. Or I know doubles ain't fell in column 5, might not like last year for me. Column 5 here, right here, didn't hit in 5 months after it only hit once. Or I knew when I hit the 999s and the 044, I knew. And you won't have to invest a lot of money when you know why you're playing the numbers because you know how to play them. And you ain't guessing. You cut back. You'll know how to cut back. When I hit the 044 and the 999s fell right behind it because I knew that the 44 pair hadn't played for 3 months. The 44 or the 99 hadn't played for 3 months. So I said, okay, started licking my chops again. I love it when these numbers don't hit. I really do. I love when they don't hit. I hope they take long because it's gonna show me. I love when they don't hit. When they I ain't playing them, I'm watching them. This 44 and 999 play, and they opposite numbers of each other. And I knew that 044 hadn't played after tracking Illinois. I knew that the 044 hadn't played all. The 044 hadn't played all year. It's opposite. The 599 hadn't played. I knew that the 400 hadn't played, and its opposite, the 599 hadn't played. Like that, I knew that. That was definitely on my yearly number to carry, because I know out of the year, one of these gonna fall. One of them gonna fall. So, and then, so I also played the 444s and the 999s. This is what I'm talking about when I play my triples. Something has to give me an indicator or a key. So I played the 444s and the 999s. So I invested in those. And when I went out of town, so I played them kind of heavy because I was going to be out of town like 3 days. So I had my way of investing in it. So I played all these for 3 days until I got back. And while I was out of town, this came in one day and this came in the next day. Illinois evening draw. And believe it or not, the 044 is the only thing that fell off for the whole year. See what I'm talking about? You can't guess these numbers. You got to know these numbers. And why you playing them. Now you want to say that was luck? No. I knew law average one of them two gonna come in. Law average one, just so happened, the 444s didn't come in, but the 044 did come in, but I knew why I was playing the 044. That's just an example. That's how I do my triples. I don't just play triples to play them. I have to see that it and its opposite probably ain't played. Or I have to see if I'm see on the front pair, back pair. I look at all my triples, my doubles, front. I really look to see if these here. Let me put these over here. I always got my eye on these doubles to see what they doing. Just like I know the A8 hadn't hit all year last year until December on the front. Caught it. I knew that the 8 hadn't fell on the back all year. That's why right now I'm playing the triple eights. But if they don't come in this month, I'm off of them because I'm already know I'm working against the law average. That's how you do it. You ain't guessing your numbers. And then once you do go back and track all these numbers like that, you're gonna know how to do it anyway. You'll see the strategy and the patterns that those numbers are running in, and the averaging, working with the law average. All right, family. So I think that's it. So play them till they come, make that money, y'all. Peace and love. God bless. And if you're tracking, you'll soon be packing the lucky town. And tracking is king. It's the only way to invest in these PICK-3 numbers. And that's all I do is PICK-3. I don't do no PICK-4. I don't do no PICK-5. I can't do it for all states. I don't. That's why I don't put no numbers up for all states. I do put them up for Illinois. I do let you know what I'm playing. I prefer everybody doing it because you might see something I miss, and it's easy to do, especially with my eyes today. My eyes are. I had eye surgery, so I'm just going with the flow right now. But for them to get better with this glaucoma that I'm working with, but you could see something that you would bang them and bang them big, and you will know why you banged them. And it's most of it's just going to be a matter of waiting to reinvest after you hit reinvested in what you know why you reinvested into a number, or your money into a number. All right, family. Have a blessed day.